Okay, so we're going to begin sewing buttons. We have different buttons that we're gonna use. We're gonna use a 2-hole button, one 4-hole button, and another one because we're gonna sew these two different ways. I have my thread already with my knot. I have about 10 inches, or maybe a little more, maybe 12 inches, to make sure that I have enough to sew the button. You don't want it to be too long because it's gonna get caught within the fabric and it's gonna create a mess, but you don't want it too short either, because if it's too short, then you are gonna have to replace it more frequently. I'm gonna begin with the 2-hole button. I'm gonna place the button on the fabric that is on the right side. So this would be the wrong side of the fabric, the side that I don't want to see once I am finished. And this is the side that is gonna show. When I have a hole for the button, I am going to try to adjust it so it fits perfectly at the end. In this case, I'm just gonna sew it to show you, so I don't have to measure or make sure that the hole is gonna fit exactly what I wanted. To start sewing a button, I'm gonna begin on the wrong side of the fabric to place my knot in there. As I said, this already has a knot, so I'm gonna go on the back and try to fit it with my fingers. I put my index finger near the hole so I know where to put the needle, okay? So it should be in there. That's the hole. Place the needle. Oh, that's it. I am trying to pull, but I can't because my knot is stopping, is securing the thread. I'm gonna sew it like this because it's easier for me. You can do it like this too, but I am used to doing it up and down. So I start on one hole and I'm gonna go down the other one and pull slowly. You may need to readjust the thread. And I'm gonna make maybe 4 or 5 loops like this. So that was 1. This is 2. Make sure your fabric is straight, because if it gets wrinkled and you sew like this, at the end it's gonna look like this and it's not nice. So you want it straight and flat. See how that thread got loose a little bit? I'm just gonna adjust it by pulling slowly, getting my fingers in there, and pull from both sides of the string, one side and the other. Okay, so that was 2, 3, 4. Make sure that when you're up, you don't go around that way, because if you do, then it's gonna end up like this. I'm gonna do one more here, and it looks pretty secure to me. So to finish this, I need to make another knot. What I do is I go underneath, get some thread in there like that. See, there's some thread under the needle, and I'm gonna make with this side 2 loops in the needle. 1 loop, 2. I'm gonna pull slowly. That's my knot. Another way to do this is you go underneath and you pull, and in this loop that it creates the thread by itself, you go 1 inside and another one and pull. So in essence, it's the same thing, just different ways to do it. Now when you're done, you cut your thread at the very edge to have a clean back, and that's the first button. Loops, 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 knot at the beginning and at the end to secure the thread. Let's go with the 4-hole buttons. I still have string in here, so I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna make a quick knot. Okay. I'm gonna start with this one. Same thing, I place it on top of the fabric, whatever I want it to be showing, and I begin on the back, on one of the holes. What I'm gonna do for this one is I'm gonna sew 2 holes first, and then I'm gonna go underneath and I'm gonna sew the other 2 holes. About 5-6 loops again. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because I don't have enough thread to continue. If I have less than this, I will not be able to make a knot at the end and my thread is not going to be secured. Therefore, my button is become undone pretty easily and pretty soon. I'm gonna stop here and I'm gonna make a knot with this thread. Make sure you always have enough thread to finish because if not, you're gonna have to undo everything, okay? So, as earlier, I go underneath some of the thread in the back, and in the loop I go twice in there, 1 and twice. That's my knot. You cut to the edge and get a new string. I had to finish 2 loops here to make sure it's secure because it's a little loose on the other side. I go on the back. Okay, I am going to do the last button, also 4-hole, but in this case, instead of sewing it parallel, up and down, I'm gonna go in a diagonal. From this one to this one, 5 or 6 loops, and then from this one to that one, 5 or 6 loops as well. So let's begin. On the back side again, up 1 hole, and I'm gonna go down to the diagonal this time. I always do one side first and then I go to the other one, okay? So 1 hole and diagonal. Okay, and now I am gonna go to the other diagonal. Up. And down. Five times. Readjust the thread when it comes uneven. Okay, so these are the 3 buttons. 2-hole button, 4-hole button parallel way, and 4-hole button diagonal. Now it's your turn. Good luck!